we're going to be working through some sun salutation flows, building up some heat and energy through the body, and we're also going to focus on some hip opening asanas. So we're going to start standing today. Make sure you've got any props that you might need throughout your practice, and I will give you modifications as we go through. So we're just going to start standing nice and tall in mountain pose. You can take a step up to the front of your mat and start to lengthen through the spine, lengthening through the neck. Imagine that string on the crown of your head going up towards the sky. Now obviously mountain pose looks like we're just standing, but actually we use all of the muscles in our body to help us do this. So squeeze the inner thighs towards each other, engage through the legs, engage the core. Just checking that those shoulders are not shrugged up, they're back and down, away from the ears. Start to focus on your breathing. Filling through the chest all the way down into the tummy. On your next inhale, sweep the arms up, and as you do so, just come up onto your toes. Really squeezing the thighs towards each other here, engaging through the core to help you balance. And as you exhale, lower back down. Again, inhale up. Exhale down. 2 more in your own time now, following your own breath. Remember, any issues with the shoulders or high blood pressure, you can keep your arms down at shoulder level or even down on the hips. Last one. Well done. Okay, we're going to start going through our sun salutation sequences. We'll gradually get faster and faster. And we'll also add in some progressions as we go through. But you go with what works for you. Don't worry about what I'm doing, what anybody else is doing. Just focus on your practice today and make it work for you. So, standing at the top of your mat, I'm going to stand a little bit further back just because I don't have quite so much room up here. Either feet together or hip width apart, standing tall. You're going to inhale the arms up, reaching towards the sky, and as you exhale, forward fold the fingertips down to the floor. Now if your fingertips don't quite make it down, you can pop them onto your shins. You can even rest them on your thighs. So just find what works for you. Now it's absolutely fine to keep a bend in the knee here, especially if you struggle with flexibility through the hamstrings, the lower back, the glutes. You can have a decent bend here. And then gradually you'll progress to straighter legs. Well done. Now completely relax the upper body down, relax the head. Taking deep breaths. Inhale's halfway lift, so flattening the back, hands slide up the shins. Now if you struggle with flattening the back out in this sort of lower tabletop position, you can absolutely bring yourself a little bit higher. The main thing here is that we're lengthening through the spine, so if you need to come up eventually, you'll be able to work your way lower and lower while still maintaining that lengthening action through the spine. Keep the shoulders back and away from the ears. Exhale, forward fold. Plant the hands Step one foot back and the other. Spread the fingers, engage through the core, inhale. And as you exhale, drop the knees, keep the elbows tucked, and lower yourself to the floor. Point the toes, small cobra here, just letting our lower back warm up. Exhale, tuck the toes, lift the hips up and back into downward dog. And just shift around in this position until you find something that works for you. You might pedal the feet and the legs out. Again, it's completely okay to keep your knees bent if you need to. And as you progress, you'll get deeper and deeper into this asana. Lifting the tailbone, still lengthening through the spine. Now remember, if downward dog doesn't work for you, it's completely fine to come down into child's pose or balasana. Well done. Bend the knees. Start to walk the feet forwards and remain in your forward fold. Relax the upper body down. Inhale to halfway lift. Shoulders back. Exhale, fold. And this time we're just going to roll up, so keeping the knees bent. Inhale as you gently roll, inch by inch, up to standing into mountain pose. Well done. Inhale up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step one foot, then the other. Really push away from the mat. Don't let the shoulders shrug up towards the ceiling. Inhale. As you exhale, drop the knees, tuck the elbows, and slowly lower to the ground. Point the toes. Inhale to cobra. You might go a little bit further this time. Pushing down through the tops of the feet, engaging through the core. Exhale down. Tuck the toes. And back into downward dog. So lift the hips up and back. And once you've found your position, either in downward dog or child's pose, just find some stillness and take 4 cycles of breath. Lifting that tailbone, even if your knees are bent. Well done. Bend the knees, look forwards, step the feet towards the top of your mat, remain in your forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. And this time we're going to reverse swan dive. So inhale, the arms sweep out to the side and up, reaching up to the sky. And exhaling, hands to heart center. Just taking a cycle of breath. Well done. Inhale up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, plant the hands, step back. Remember, push away from the floor. Inhale, drop the knees, drop the chest, point the toes, up into cobra. If you feel any niggles in the lower back, lower down. And your next exhale, tuck the toes, lift the hips, back into downward dog. Bend the knees, walk them forwards, forward fold, halfway lift, fold, inhale, reverse swan dive, sweep up to the sky, and exhale, hands to heart center. Feel the strength in this pose. Draw the energy up through your feet. Now, when we go through the next couple of cycles of the sun salutations, if you would like to do the progressions during the chaturanga phase, when we're coming from that high plank down onto the floor, so you've got two options. You can keep your knees off of the floor and lower your whole body down at once, and then still go into cobra. Alternatively, a little bit more challenging, is you lower your body until you're just hovering off of the ground, and then you go into that back bend, which is your upward dog. So if you're beginning, you might want to stick with cobra, and then just every now and then just try something that pushes you a little bit more, but don't overdo it, okay? So, reaching up on the inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Let the head hang. Inhale, halfway lift. Shoulders back. Exhale, fold, plant the hands. Step back. Now is your time to choose your option for chaturanga. Keep pushing away from the mat. Inhale. Lower, either up into cobra or upward dog, pushing tops of those feet down into the mat, and as you exhale, flip the toes over and back into downward dog or child's pose. Just make sure if you're in downward dog that you're not letting your shoulders shrug up towards your ears. Slide those shoulder blades down your back. Well done. Bend the knees, walk them forwards. Remain in that forward fold. Halfway lift. Forward fold. Reverse swan dive up. Squeeze through the legs and the core, hands to heart center. One more cycle, you're nearly there, you're doing great. Inhale, reach. Forward fold. Halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Down into Uttanasana, fold, hands to the floor, step back. Inhale, as you exhale, lower down, choose your option, point the toes, lift up into cobra or upward dog, really engaging through the legs here, shoulders back, exhaling down, tuck the toes, lift the hips, up into downward dog. Just take a few cycles of breath here, slow your breathing down. If you need a break at any point, please just come down into Balasana, child's pose. And take the opportunity to slow your breathing down. if you're not already in downward dog, join us here. Spread those fingers and toes, engaging with the floor. Now on your next inhale, you're going to lift the right leg. Now I can't quite do that with my legs straight here just because of the space that I have. But if you've got plenty of room around you, you can lift that leg straight up into three-legged dog. Try and keep your weight balanced on your hands. And on your next exhale, you're going to look forward, shift your weight forward slightly, tuck the knee, and step the foot through. Now if your foot gets stuck back here, don't worry, just pick it up and move it. Doesn't make any difference at all to your practice. You're going to drop that back knee, just making sure that the front knee doesn't go too far in front of your ankle. Definitely shouldn't be going over your toes. When you're ready, engage through the thighs, sweep the arms up. Now remember, if your arms up doesn't suit you, you can bring the arms to cactus. Alternatively, you can keep them on your hips. You might even choose to keep them out to the side to help with balance. Now while we're in this position, this low lunge, I want you to imagine that you're squeezing your front heel and your back knee towards each other, like you're trying to scrunch your mat up in between. And that's going to really help with your balance. Now your back toe can either be relaxed out or up on the toes. Just see how it feels on your knee. Engage through the legs, tucking the tailbone slightly to protect the lower back. On your next exhale, bring the fingertips to the floor, rock back for a hamstring stretch. We're going to take 2 more full cycles of breath here. You don't need to straighten that leg, absolutely fine to keep a bend in there. Try not to round the shoulders and hang over. Want to keep a nice long spine here. Well done. On your next inhale, rock back forwards. On the hands. We're going to lift that back knee if that feels good for you. And you're going to bring the right hand up towards the ceiling. So what we're looking for here is we're trying to open the chest up to the right. So we're not bending our arm behind us. Our arms should stay nice and in line with each other. You've got to try and rotate through the waist and the chest here. Now some people choose to look up at their thumbs, but if like me, I find that a bit too much pressure on my neck. You just look neutral in front. You can even look down. Make sure your front foot is not peeling off to the side. Keep the big toe pushing down. On your next exhale, bring the hand to the floor, step back, and we're going to rest in Balasana for a moment. Toes together, knees open. Slowly breathe in. Well done. Inhale up, exhale back into downward dog. This time, we're going to lift the left leg on an inhale. Keep that weight balanced. And as you exhale, shift the weight forwards, tuck the knee, step it forwards, bring that back knee down. Now just adjust if you feel like you're too far forwards. Shift that back knee. Remember, try and pull the heel and the knee towards each other. When you're ready, inhale the arms into your chosen position. Remember to tuck that tailbone slightly to protect your lower back. And keep drawing those legs towards each other. You're doing great, well done. On your next exhale, bring fingertips to the floor, rocks back, flex the front toes for that hamstring stretch. Keep that spine nice and long. Remember, you can keep the knee bent if you need to. One more cycle of breath. Well done. Inhale forwards. Plant the hands. Lift the back knee if that feels okay. You can do the twist with your knee down. Keeping the right hand down this time. Left arm opens up to the left. So you can absolutely keep your knee down if you find that too much. Keep that big toe pushing into the floor. On your next exhale, bring the hand down, step back, and let's meet in Balasana, child's pose. Well done. Inhale up. And as you exhale, just come down to a seated position. Well done. We're going to bring the soles of the feet together. Now don't worry too much about where your knees are here. It doesn't matter if they're up high, or you might even be able to get them down onto the mat. We're going to, if we can reach, just use our first two fingers to loop around our big toes. Try not to wrench out the shoulders and round the back here. We want to keep the back long, spine long. We might just flutter the knees to encourage them to loosen up. So a lot of us are very tight through the hips, I know I am. It's about consciously telling that area to relax. So as you inhale, lengthen through the spine. And as you exhale, release. Let go of the tension. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, release. One more time. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, release the hips. Well done, great job. Bring your knees together. We're going to lay down onto our mats now, but we're going to do our lovely roll down for a little bit of core work. Try and keep your feet on the floor if you can, just to challenge yourself, but don't worry if they peel up at any time. The main thing is that we don't let our shoulders and head bash down onto the floor. We want to just try and get down as slowly as possible. So, engaging through the core. You can have your arms in front, you can use your thighs for a bit more support if you want. And start to roll down. Just take your time. Keep that chin tucked. Well done. Great job. Okay, once you're here, get those shoulders under your back. And we're going to do reclined pigeon. So bring the feet in towards the bottom. We're going to take the right ankle onto the left thigh, just below the knee, rather above the knee if we're thinking about where the thigh is. Now, you might find that that's already very strong and intense. If so, stay there. You might try to use your outer thigh, your hip, or even your hand to push that knee away from the face, but try not to let the hips twist off of the floor. You need to keep those hips firmly planted. And just encourage that knee away from you. Keep the right foot flexed, that's going to help protect your knee. And if you're feeling like you can still push yourself a little bit further here, you can catch a hold of the left thigh and hug that leg in towards you. Now just make sure that this isn't making you pull up and strain your shoulders off of the floor. Shoulder blades should be engaging with the mat and the ground. Keep pushing that knee away from you on the right side. Well done. Inhale, and as you exhale, so you just squeeze in a little bit further or push that knee away a little bit more. And release. Let's change sides. So remember, once you've placed your ankle just below or above the knee, keeping that left foot flexed, see how you're feeling. If you can go a little bit further, push that knee away from the face. Just keeping an eye on the hips here, that you're not twisting or lifting them off of the floor. I know my hips are feeling very tight today. If you still feel like you can go a little bit further, catch a hold of the right thigh. So just remember, keep your left foot flexed, but your right foot can either be flexed or relaxed. It's up to you. Checking the shoulders are relaxed, not straining up. Well done. Keep pushing that knee away from you on the left side. Inhale. And as you exhale, so you just squeeze that leg in a little bit further. And release. Well done. Give both knees a nice hug in to the chest. You might just gently rock side to side to massage the lower back, so we push the lower back into the floor here. Well done. Going to come down into Shavasana now. So lengthen the legs out, the feet pointing towards corners of your mat. Bring those shoulders back down if they've worked their way up. Shrug them away from the ears. Palms are up, facing the sky. Closing the eyes or casting your gaze downwards if you prefer. Just take a moment to notice how you're feeling. What effect your practice has had for you today. Notice any tension you might still be holding on to. Also take a moment here to express gratitude to yourself for turning up and stepping onto your mat today. That's half the battle. Remember, if you feel your mind drifting or thoughts popping up, just acknowledge them and then send them on their way, drawing your attention back to your focus point if you have one. If not, it could just be a breathing. Now is the time to focus on you. You alone. welcome to remain here in Shavasana for as long as you feel you need to. Otherwise, if you're ready to finish your practice today, gently start to bring some movement back into the fingers and toes. And when you're ready, slowly roll onto your side, resting the head onto the arm, resting in this fetal position for a moment. Again, just noticing how you feel, any changes in your mind or body. In your own time, bring yourself up to a seated position. You don't have to open your eyes yet if you're not ready. Bring the hands to heart center, lengthen through the spine. We're going to take a deep inhale together and close our practice with a cleansing breath out through the mouth. So when you're ready, inhale the deepest breath you've taken all day. Exhale through the mouth. Bring the hands to our third eye. Let's take a bow. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. See you next time.